Hey, Alan here with DustyHikers.com, and I have another shoe versus shoe video. I've only got like 3 more of these to do, and then I have really exciting news that I did a completely new round of a review of 5 different hiking shoes, including the Merrell MQM Flex 2. So I felt like those were the ones that I chose last year. So I picked 4 more shoes, and I'm testing all of them together with the Merrell MQM Flex 2. Those videos should start coming out like in the next 2 weeks or so. I'm traveling to Hawaii on June 16th, and then I'm moving to Italy on June 27th. So there may not be too many videos coming after those. I'm gonna try and schedule those out so that you can get all that information. But I've been doing all the same testing, like traction and protection underfoot, and I also dunked them in water and dried them out and to see which ones dry more quickly. And I think I do have a clear winner at this point. I'm not gonna tell you what it is. I'm wearing them right now, and I love these shoes. They're my new favorites. I'm also looking at doing a through hike in Italy. So there's a hike from Bologna to Florence on this ancient path, and it winds up ending right about in the town above Florence where we plan to live. So I think I might do that in August and then upload some videos about that as well. Okay, so today's video is about the Oboz Sawtooth II versus the Salomon OUTline GTX. These are, again, 2 shoes that I tested against 3 other shoes a year ago. Neither of these shoes were the winner, but one of them is clearly better than the other one. And in this video, we're gonna talk about which one that is. Okay, so what I do in these videos is I just ask a series of questions. So the first question is, how much money do you have? If money is an issue, I looked on REI.com, and this shoe, the Salomon OUTline GTX, is actually less than $100. It's like 30 or 40% off right now. And so I think that that's a pretty good value. This isn't a shoe that I would choose to buy again. I don't really like it, but it's gonna work for some people, and it is relatively inexpensive on REI.com right now. You can check out links in my description for pricing on the internet. The Oboz Sawtooth II Low non-Gore-Tex, they call it B-Dry, but the non-Gore-Tex version is $115 right now on REI.com. And this is an excellent value. This is an amazing hiking shoe, much better in my estimation than the Salomon OUTline GTX. Okay, next question. If you're deciding between these two shoes, which one should I buy? Are you gonna be carrying a heavy backpack? If you are, then you definitely wanna go with the with the Oboz Sawtooth II. This is much more like a boot. It's got a really thick rubber sole. It's got more padding, it's got more support, it's got more material. This is a hard plastic cup back here for your heel. You've got lots of support. And I think if you're gonna be carrying a heavy backpack over long distance, your feet will be better off at the end of the day if you're wearing the Oboz Sawtooth II. Okay, next question. Is traction on the trail important to you? Is like grip really, really important for you? In that case, I tested these 2 shoes again against 3 other shoes, and they performed relatively similarly. I was really unimpressed with the Contagrip. I think this is by Salomon. Contagrip is their compound for their outsole here. It's super slippery. These performed much worse than the Quantum Grip by Merrell that I tested, and then of course Vibram beat everybody. Vibram's much better. So if you want something that has good traction, these are relatively similar as far as the grip of the compound, but these should be much better. If you're gonna have a more running shoe type hiking shoe like this, I feel like they should have a softer compound that is actually really, really grippy. These Contagrip is, in my estimation, a failure. The Oboz, again, as far as traction, they have a harder rubber compound, again, more like a boot. And so they're not gonna be the grippiest hiking shoe that you can find on the market. Really anything with Vibram, especially their Mega Grip, is gonna just be the best possible grip that you can get on trail. Again, neither of these have Vibram. As always, if you're finding something useful in this video, please consider hitting like, and that way YouTube will send it out to more people that are undecided between whether they should buy the Salomon OUTline GTX or the Oboz Sawtooth II. Thank you. Okay, next question. Do you expect to get wet? I tested 5 shoes, including these, and I dunked all of them in water. You can go check out that video. It's best popular hiking shoe under $150. I dunked all of them in water, and then I timed how long it took them to dry, and this was the worst shoe. I think it was so bad. So this is the non-Gore-Tex version. I think it was so bad because it just has so much padding. It's got a really beautiful insole in here. In fact, Oboz is kind of famous for that, but it's got a lot of material, a lot of mushy material in here. And so if these things get wet, I mean, good luck. You're gonna be in a wet environment. It could take days for these things to dry out unless you have a fire or something. So if you're gonna get wet, I think you should go with the Salomon OUTline GTX. These happen to be the Gore-Tex version, so these would be a much better choice if you plan to walk in wet environments. How important will foot protection be on the hike for you? So the the Oboz Sawtooth II, again, has really more of a sort of a boot feel to it. This is leather, but it's very hard. You can feel that, hear that. Very hard, very thick. Again, it's got this hard plastic heel cut back here, and then it's got this kind of Oboz DNA thing where the lugs kind of come up the side there. There's just more protection in this. It does not have a rock plate on the bottom. It doesn't need one because it's just got such a big, thick, hard rubber sole. So this shoe would provide much more protection than the Salomon OUTline GTX. This does have a rock plate, and so you would be protected here on the bottom from like sharp objects coming up through on the trail, but it's just not going to provide as much protection up here on the top of your foot as the Oboz Sawtooth II. So if protection is important, definitely go with the Oboz Sawtooth II. And finally, as always, the last question, do you want to look good on the trail? We're hikers, we all want to look great. I think the Salomon OUTline GTX has more beautiful aesthetics. So I think that this is a more beautiful shoe than the Oboz Sawtooth II. The Oboz Sawtooth II is just kind of beefy and clunky and not as elegant. So if styling is important, then I would go with the Salomon OUTline GTX. All right, that is it for today. We are full of boxes here in the house. I gotta ship my dog to Italy, and so I'm busy, I gotta go. I will see you guys in the next one.